Hi, everybody.
It's Amy.
It's me. I'm down here. I have a short chair today, but that's okay because Jim's doing most of the hard work. So
I am.
yeah. So welcome to Make It Mondays. I'm Amy. This is Jim,
Hi.
Suzio, of course, and we're here to inspire you, right?
Yeah.
So today we're doing. What are we doing today? We're doing
Buttons.
sewing buttons on by machine, which most people don't know you can do, and there's no big secret to it. There's some easy ways to sew buttons.
You just need to know what button to push.
All right. So on most machines, right, you drop your feet. And if you have an older style mechanical, maybe, or you're going to drop your feet teeth and or cover your plate up. You may have a cover to cover your plate up. If you have a newer fancy model, you go to your buttonhole menu. Believe it or not, there's a little round circle in there that looks like a button that you push, and it sets everything up for you. I'm fine. And I'm not sure what's going on here, but anyhow. All right. What you got, Jim? Let's go ahead and do our buttons.
Oh, okay. Should we switch over?
Switch over.
Okay, we'll switch over.
All righty.
Okay. So I'm going to go to my menu and select button. If you notice, the V teeth are up, and I notice on this machine when you touch your button, it lowers them automatically.
Yeah, that's awesome sauce.
That's one of the perks of having a computerized machine.
Yes, we're spoiled.
Yeah,
we'll just say it.
We're spoiled.
We're spoiled.
Other ones too. There may be like a little button under here, or you may have to open up the front of the free arm if it has a free arm, and then flip a lever to lower the feed teeth, or like you said, just put a cover on it.
Right. On entry level models, it's in the back. It's behind.
Yeah.
Where your bobbin cover is. It's on the back of your machine back here.
Check your owner's manual or
check your manual.
Call your dealer.
Don't call us.
Call your dealer.
All right. Hi, Miss Bonnie.
And of course, got the machine thread, and then you got to put your foot on.
Right. So that is there's a couple different feet.
Yeah, this is the one that came with this one, where it has like a little rubber grip that it'll hold the button in place for you. And I did go and check out some other feet. Like this one, it's metal, but there's like a little tongue in there, and that holds the button in place for you.
Right. And then that has the slide to make it a shank or a no shank. There's a little slide lever right here that slides out a little post. So if you want a little more ease in your button to be looser on your garment, like if it's a thick button for a coat, this is probably a more, I don't want to say I call it a superior foot, but it is a better foot.
Than that, yeah.
Yeah, than that type. But this is the most common that we see. But you may have that guy.
Yeah. And then you have...
Our friends at Bernina have their own. Nothing Bernina looks like anything else.
Well,
I have to say it.
And it's basically, it's like a combination of both of those.
Both, I know.
So it depends on your brand.
Exactly.
And I will share, I got one brand at home that you have no foot at all. It just relies on the ankle itself.
I know. So with the Bernina, I always said it was a Barbie prosthesis, right? And I always made jokes of that. But one day a little girl came in and her dog had eaten one leg off her Barbie doll. So Zach took it to the back, gave her an amputation below the knee, and we glued on a Bernina foot.
And she was thrilled.
And she was so excited that her Barbie now had a leg, and so it solved all kinds of problems.
Now that's customer service.
I know, but it's she was just devastated. I felt bad for her.
Thank you for sharing.
Lori says foot number 18.
Whoops.
Thank you, Lori. And we're not poking fun of the Bernina foot. We're just saying that they're very unique in how they make them, and they're very well engineered. And now the one Jim's putting on now has it snaps on twice. It snaps in behind the ankle and then in front of the ankle. There's like a little hook. And
I'm not at a good angle.
No, you're in a crappy angle. Let me see if I can get it. So it just goes up over the back of the foot like that, and then in the front of the foot. Well, I'm at a worse angle, so we're really killing it today. If I were you guys, I would run. Neither one of us can sit square in front of the machine. I don't think this is the right one, James. This one's too small.
So, okay, I grabbed the wrong foot.
Grab the wrong foot. That's okay. Show them how to do it without a foot. Without a foot. Then I'll find the foot. How's that?
Okay, I'll do it without a foot.
All right.
So I got my fabric all situated. And I have a piece of interfacing to back it, just so it gives it a little more support. And I have my button selected. And what I'll do is I'll hold it in place. Now, when you first put your foot down, it might move like mine moved slightly. If I'm working with just my ankle or a foot that doesn't have the little rubber grips, what I would do is actually take a little piece of transparent tape to hold it in place until I can go to my dealer and buy a foot that fits. And I'm using my hand wheel to turn it, and I will turn it a couple times to make sure it clears. And now that I know it clears, I got it positioned right and the right size, and I'll just sew back and forth. And notice how it's just going back and forth in one hole. It's tying the threads in a knot for me, so I don't have to worry about the threads coming undone. It's going to tie them all in a knot. I can lift up, move it over. And again, I'm going to turn it the first 2 times to be sure I cleared the hole. And then I can go ahead with my machine or just use the start stop button. And it tied it in a knot and it finished for me. I'll cut the threads. And then all I have to do is peel off that tape.
So most buttonholes are 3 to 3.5 millimeters, the openings in the buttons, right?
Yeah.
When that changes is when things get fancy, thicker, bigger, right? So that's when you have
the correct foot.
The correct. So I always start at 3 or 3.5 millimeters. And then you can adjust the width of your zigzag from there. So there's the right foot. The Janome is distinctive because it's a 9 millimeter foot, right? So you just can't get a foot from anywhere, but they all look alike. So probably I put it in the wrong box or something. So using that foot really grips, right? So now you do a 4-hole, it's no different. But I always turn the hand wheel. I put my needle down and I turn the hand wheel just to make sure. So one time I let you touch your hand wheel, right? Because I'm not a big fan of that because it messes with things. Now we have a bad button. What is going on today? I hope this is not a sign of what today is going to be. I'm telling you right now, it better not be. Anyway, so that little gripper foot just holds it just as well as tape, right? So
right. Actually better.
Yes. And you can turn the button to do an X. You don't have to do them left and right, just as long as that needle falls in the hole. So this is programmed. I think it does 7 times and it does a knot. So if you don't have this built into your machine, you're just going to zigzag back and forth 7, 10 times and then pull your thread to the back and tie a knot. Or just stitch in place 1 or 2 times.
Or a little freight check.
A little freight check, absolutely. When we owned the ambulance business, everybody had these white polyester shirts on, and those buttons would never stay attached. I think I'd spent half my life sewing on uniform buttons. And one day someone said, "Oh, use clear fingernail polish." So I put a drop of clear fingernail polish on them. Those things never come undone because the polyester uniform fabric was slippery, and it just was. Anyway, you get it. Hi, Miss Carol.
Nail polish, huh? Okay, and what I thought I'd share, because this foot is a little more advanced, like we said, how it has a little guide in it, also to do a shank button. This one doesn't.
Right.
So if I can't upgrade to get a foot with a shank on it for my machine, I could sub and just use a little straight pin. And I'm pushing it like right against the foot, and I'm sewing over that, just like I did before. And then lift it, move it.
Yes, that's at your button jingle jangle, like to get through heavier fabric, right?
Yeah.
You want it locked down so tight.
So I can do it this way and creates a little thread space. And then once I cut it, I can then lift it up and then actually wind some thread around the back of it to do a thread shank.
Right. Or yeah, exactly. So we have a question. Jeanette says, I never thought about using any foot. How would you adjust the size of the thread shank? Oh, so you're talking, I think you're already talking about the, oh, so we can't sew shank button. Oh, how you adjust the size. Oh, so you're talking about how much jingle, like how much looseness the button would have. A toothpick, a
Toothpick,
pin,
a skewer.
bamboo skewer,
Yeah, bamboo
anything you
skewer.
can put
Yeah.
in there and just zigzag over it.
Yeah.
Would give you that weight.
Right, and that lift you need.
Right. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Questions. All right, Jim, let's hit number 1. What do we got? Okay, I am super excited. Are you ready? The shop t-shirts are back in. Yay! So finally, you can stop in the store and pick one up, or you can go to amysews.com and you can just order one and we'll ship it to you. This is our first one. It's in teal. It says license to carry. And we kind of a little play because, you know, we have millimeters the same size as firearms. So it may not be appreciated by everyone, but we have the license to carry. And then we have a little more gentle approach. And this says sewing in harmony with the Pennsylvania and the zip code. And then the back has the little Amy doll below the neck. And the back of this one has that little logo on the back. They're only $22. I know April just packed your order today. They're super soft and they're generous.
Yeah.
They're very generous and they're comfy. So anyway, so yeah, so the t-shirts are available. We have the license to carry in turquoise. I guess that's teal, right? What do we call that? Teal. And then we have the sewing in harmony, and their size is small through 3X. So that's where we're at. All right, we good?
Yeah.
So Tuesday is the Serger class live at Inside Amy Sews. If you're a Serger Box, most of the project. If you're a Serger Box subscriber, then we're going to be making this. It's all sad because the stuffing's out of it. We're going to be making this kind of spring doctor clutch. We're focusing on 2 thread functions, but if you don't have 2 thread, we can use 3. And the good news is the scan and cut box, which we're working on now, right, for
next month,
June. I forget what month it is. We're going to do these cute watermelon alphabet monograms on a pillow form. We did just open the scan and cut box up. So if you want to join, go to amysews.com. You can get in the May scan and cut subscription.
And don't wait because it's going to fill up fast.
Wait, we're only letting so many people in because we can only get so many supplies. Now that it's getting much bigger, it's getting harder to source everything. So, okay, everybody, have a terrific day because the more you know.
The more you sew.